Welcome back to the broadcast. If you're just joining us, this is Newsline. Many thanks for staying with us. And tonight, Kenya's 12th Parliament is back in business for the 5th session, a session that is usually coincides with seismic political formations. And tonight we want to train our cameras on the ruling majority Jubilee coalition, which has begun with pomp with the ouster of Kang'ata, Irungu Kang'ata, the senator from Murang'a, as the majority whip in the Senate. That, of course, was preceded by the removal of 6 nominated senators. We want to talk about all that, what's happening, this happening, of course, as the country prepares for a potential constitutional referendum, and, of course, in 17 months' time, the 2022 general election. What is the state of the Jubilee Party? I'm joined in studio tonight by the majority leader in the Senate, Samuel Poghisio, senator for the county of West Pokot, and also his immediate predecessor in the Senate, that is Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen, to help us put perspective into some of these issues happening in the majority Jubilee Party. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me in studio tonight. Let me begin with you, Senator Poghisio. Yesterday, Kenyans were treated to some news. We saw some 6 nominated Jubilee senators effectively incapacitated. Would you say that the ouster of them, the 6 of them, and the Murang'a senator as majority whip, Irungu Kang'ata, was done in a fair way, in accordance to the standing orders?
Well, if the answer is supposed to be short and precise, yes, it was done. It is the constitution of the Jubilee Party and, of course, the standing orders. So it was done well, if that's the thing. But I just wanted to say hello to your viewers and to wish them all this new year. I have not been here in a long time. And so I would like to specifically say that matters of the party are guided by the constitution of that particular party, now the Jubilee Party, and, of course, the constitution and the standing orders.
We've seen what's been happening in the past few weeks, the letter by the Murang'a senator to the president, and of course the BBI narrative. What would you say, Senator Poghisio, informed that decision?
Sorry, which decision?
The decision to remove Irungu Kang'ata as the majority whip.
I think if I repeat myself, or I go over what the Secretary General of the party has said, there is a reason for every party to push or to remove someone from a position. I have no idea exactly, in my view, what to say about what the Jubilee Party, because I wasn't there when the letter was written or when the letter was sent. But the Secretary General has clearly said it's not about the letter, and a lot of people just want to focus on the letter. It has nothing much to do about the letter. The letter simply had other things going with it, and Irungu Kang'ata being my very close friend, and I worked with him.
Yes.
We joined these positions together. He has worked very tirelessly. But when it comes to matters of your decision, choices have consequences. And I think that's what the Secretary General was trying to say, that loyalty to the party and being able to be trusted to run with the business of the party and hold leadership positions of the party is untenable now for various reasons which were espoused by the Secretary General this morning and even the day before yesterday.
All right. Yeah. Senator Murkomen, this was you 8 months ago on a similar chopping board. How would you describe the ouster of your Murang'a counterpart as majority whip?
First of all, I'd like to say good evening to all your viewers and to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here. It's long, like Uncle Sama said, it's long since I was here. And I understand why it's unfortunate that you have to ask a KANU senator questions related to Jubilee. KANU only has 3 senators in the Senate. We have 34 Jubilee senators, both elected and nominated. Out of the 39 Jubilee coalition members in the Senate, 34 are from Jubilee. 1 is from UDA, the wheelbarrow,
yes,
which is the deputy majority leader.
And KANU is part of the Jubilee coalition, so they are in good capacity to talk about this.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Yes.
UDA has 1 senator, which is the deputy majority leader. and then you have one independent, and you have now KANU 3. So it's unfortunate that you have to ask a KANU senator to answer matters of Jubilee Party. I am the more competent person to tell you about the ongoings of Jubilee, including our party constitution. And I can tell you, yes, without fear of contradiction, that there is wanton violation of the Jubilee Party constitution. To start with, I can tell you for sure that when we were removed from office 1 year ago, the threshold for removal was not achieved because the people who signed for my removal and the removal of Susan Kiiga were 19. And they required 20 senators to be able to remove us. 19 senators refused, 19 senators signed. Right. After intimidation, bullying, pushing, they could only get 19. So they never got the threshold to replace me or replace Susan Kiiga. And as a matter of record, the Speaker of the Senate up to now has not delivered his ruling on the legality of the decision to remove myself and Senator Susan Kiiga. In the same way, I will insist that in the Kang'ata situation, I was in the meeting today, and as a member of Jubilee Party, there was no enough numbers for them to sign for removal of Kang'ata. In fact, Tuju had threatened that they were going to do it by this afternoon, and because they could not get the threshold, of course they have delayed, they will never get the numbers. I can tell you, Ben, here.
So what are you saying? Are you saying that Kang'ata is still the majority whip?
It's still the majority whip as per the standing orders, because the standing orders require that his office will only be removed when the Speaker pronounces himself, when he's satisfied that the requisite numbers of senators have signed for his removal. So as we speak today, notwithstanding the pronouncement of the SG and other members of public, the reality is that by law, Senator Kang'ata still holds his office. Now, some of the violations that have taken place in Jubilee Party is that Jubilee Party has never met. We've never had proper PG. The only PGs we've had is the ones for removing people, one which was to remove us, and this one that we are removing Kang'ata. Two is that the Jubilee NEC, National Executive Committee, whose responsibility to decide matters of expulsion of party members, has never met, and they never met. In fact, the presence of KANU as a coalition member of Jubilee is a total illegality, because NEC is the only body that was responsible for sanctioning coalition agreements. I was a member of NEC when it was purported that KANU had come to a coalition with us. We were never called for NEC meeting. KANU was not ratified. They are there illegally, notwithstanding the fact that my friend Uncle Sam here is the majority leader now by virtue of pronouncement of the Speaker, which I respect because me and Sam have no issues. We are friends. But as a matter of fact, the requirements and procedures of law have not been followed. And we are insisting, we hope, if tomorrow there's going to be a pronouncement from the Speaker, I want to challenge Speaker Lusaka that he must follow Standing Order number 9 of the Senate and the specific requirements of that standing order in so far as threshold for removal of a senator. I am carrying with me the names of 20 senators, 20 Jubilee senators that and who have not signed to support removal of Kang'ata. Where are they going to get the numbers to be able to remove him, except a pronouncement that will be legal? And I want to warn the Speaker of the Senate that you might be covered today by virtue of being given political cover by the powers of the day, but he must be careful about his actions insofar as him as a state officer holding public office going forward. Senator
Poghisio, your colleague is casting aspersions on the presence of KANU in the Jubilee coalition. What do you say to that?
No, I think somewhat Senator Murkomen must also begin to face realities in politics. The fact that he is trying to cast aspersions. Veiled attacks on KANU will not help at all, because KANU is squarely in the coalition, as admitted by the registrar of political parties and in law. So I do believe that what I think Murkomen has had is totally and maybe uninterrupted opportunities that he's had in his life. He's had opportunities to rise. He's had opportunities as a young man to lead, to reach the position of majority leader so early. I think that may have accelerated his thinking into believing that everything is like instant coffee. And so I do want to ask that some kind of respect for political parties like KANU. KANU did not ask to be given the position of majority leader. It is the members of the coalition who vote. And I want to remind Murkomen that when he became a majority leader, it was a pronouncement from the president. There was no other process, no different process than the one that brought me in. And to remove him, we had the proper numbers. And in fact, they tried to challenge those numbers. It was not possible. We had the proper numbers. You can go and check the list that we had of 21 members. It is there. And today, by the way, what surprises me, and today, I can also say that, Murkomen, you cannot be having names of 20 senators at all. And I can just want to say that we do have, in my view, we do have all the required numbers as of today. And Ben, let me just say this.
Yes.
The only reason that this thing did not come up today is because today we didn't have a House Business Committee. Today, the only business in the House was actually to establish the House Business Committee so that now they can set the plans and the business of the House. And so by tomorrow we'll present everything. The Speaker has already received everything. The Speaker's office has received our letter. So it's only a matter of tomorrow. It should just be able to, we should be able to pronounce what he is talking about. So I just want to ask that even if you were removed, Senator Murkomen was removed, the pain of that removal should not continue for too long. He should begin to heal and begin to appreciate that other people also have a chance and the abilities to lead these things, not to undermine other people at all. So I just want to remind him that the standing orders, which he quoted, Standing Order 19.5, is clearly followed as of today's removal of Kang'ata.
All right.
And so that's all I can say.
KITILI, I think there are things that should not go unchallenged. First of all, KANU should not give me a lecture about numbers. Of the 417 elected members of parliament from both Senate and National Assembly, KANU has only 10.
All right.
Of the elected, no, I just want you to listen, Sam, because I listened to you. Of the elected and nominated 67 senators, KANU has only 3. Akin to what somebody said that, you cannot have a person who owns one cow to be the chair of the kettle dip. So as a matter of fact, a conversation about numbers cannot be between us, Jubilee 34, and KANU 3.
But you were removed.
I want you to be patient, Ben, because I was patient when I was listening to Senator Poghisio. And I want to state this for the record, and I want you to be patient for just 2 minutes, that the following 20 senators have not signed for the removal of Senator Kang'ata: Senator Kindiki, Senator Linturi, Senator Murkomen, Senator Kiika, Senator Kang'ata himself, Senator Chiruyot, Senator Kinyua, Senator Mohamed, Senator Lelekwe, Senator Mpayei, Senator Langat, Senator Oletiptip, Senator Omanga, Senator Falhada, Senator Juma Wario, Senator Naomi Wako, Senator Isaac Mwaura, Mary Seneta, Samson Cherargei, and Victor Prengei. Those 20 senators, out of 38 members of Jubilee coalition, even if you include KANU with the illegalities that were done, have not signed to remove Kang'ata. Tell me, where is Senator Poghisio or any other person who is attempting to remove them? And I'll say this because I know you are a media house of record, so that Kenyans tomorrow can even go back to the Hansard and recite these 20 senators I've talked about. None of them are signed for removal of Kang'ata. Where did they get the numbers out of 38
Tell me
remove Senator Kang'ata?
Tell me this. What is your opinion on the National Management Committee of your party, Jubilee Party? Because it seems to wield these powers to remove you. And also, you've tell me about that, Senator Murkomen, and you've also listed the 6 senators who were purportedly removed yesterday.
First of all, let's start with the fact that a party cannot remove senators. They can propose expulsion of members, but they can only be removed from the register of political parties by the registrar of political parties. And one cannot lose to be a senator until that their removal from register of political parties gazetted and a vacancy is declared by IEBC, which then later IEBC will be able to fill the same vacancy.
All right.
So today, through legal representation, the 6 senators obtained orders, and I'm sure you reported in your news today, I didn't watch news because I was on my way here, that the 6 senators obtained orders stopping registrar of political parties and Jubilee Party from taking any action further until the case is heard and determined. So as we speak, there is no senator who has been expelled. Now, the second thing I want to insist is that if you read Standing Order 19, and I have a copy of the Standing Order here. If you read Standing Order 19, it is very clear that the requirement for you to receive the threshold, that is 19.5, a senator elected under paragraph 1, which is the majority leader of the whip, may be removed by majority of the votes of all senators belonging to the majority party, not members of the party, not to the... For as long as the 6 senators are senators by law, they are part and parcel of the computation in arriving at what is the threshold for removal of the majority whip. And as I said, Ben, Senator Poghisio, you know the confidence executes that tomorrow, you know, that thing will be finished. It will only happen because one speaker called Ken Lusaka is the speaker. If it was J.B. Muturi, or it was the former speaker, Ethuro, or any other person who wants to observe the rule of law, I can tell you for sure, Senator Kang'ata will not have been removed. In the same way, I would never have been removed of Senator Susan. And I want to tell Senator Poghisio, I am at peace with the challenges that are in the Jubilee. But
we'll wait to see.
Don't keep narrating the fact that I need to move on. We will move on, but we must deal with the political deceit that emanates from that particular decision, because that is where the cancer eats the Republic of Kenya.
All right. We'll wait to see what happens in the House tomorrow. I want us to talk about the state of the Jubilee Party, the state of the majority in the House. But Senator Poghisio, what is your take on the grievances that Senator Murkomen is bringing on the way some of these things are being done?
Ben, let me just repeat. The Speaker of the Senate.
Yes.
And we ought to respect the Speaker of the Senate for what he does.
Respect his earned.
We must respect the Speaker. It's a requirement, actually, by the standing orders that we do, and we should not just be discussing his character either here or anywhere else. And so that is true. And I also don't believe that we should be casting aspersions on ourselves on basis of issues. It's a process, Ben, that happened. It's acceptable that we have the requisite numbers, and tomorrow we prove that we have the requisite numbers.
Publish the numbers.
It will be possible for you to see the list, because the Speaker cannot receive a letter from us without the list and the minutes of the parliamentary group meeting. So it's very clear. You will see tomorrow. Just as it was when Senator Murkomen was removed, we presented a list.
There was no list.
Presented.
There was no
list.
There.
It's absolutely there.
There was absolutely no list.
Just go check. The list is
there. There was no list. That is why. Let me just interject.
And so why don't you be patient?
There was no list. There was no list. That's why
everybody to be patient.
The speaker has not made a ruling up to now.
Let's give Senator Poghisio time.
Well, I mean, you have said we'll be patient with each other.
Then I'll come to you.
Okay. There is everything. Nothing could have passed through the House if the minutes, the letter, and the list would not be there. They had to be there. So we have cleared that. Today is the same thing. We have a letter, we have the list, and we have the minutes of that meeting which we had today. It is not always true. It's not true that that KANU, which has fewer members,
just 3,
forced themselves to the leadership. You see, if you have one cow and you are made the chairman of the DIP, you must be exceptional. You must be a very exceptional person, because then people saw your leadership. And I think that is basically what it is. And so where there is exception and maybe a better qualification, and you have only one cow, the members of that village can decide to make you chairman of that DIP. Maybe you're a good care. You take good care of that thing. So apart from that, Ben, I think, and we're moving in a direction where we need to be truthful to each other. And so Jubilee Party, where Senator Murkomen speaks of as though he's actually a member of the party, so he's only elected to that in that party. But loyalties have changed now, now he speaks of another party. And so it's not easy to now agree that you are an insider of the Jubilee Party when actually you seem to be peripheral in the sense of believing in the tenets of that party. So I'd like for him to begin to see that if you leave a vacuum, some people will come and fill in that vacuum and move on with leading the party. The majority party, by the way, of the Senate requires every member. It's not that we are excited to remove anybody as a Jubilee coalition. I mean, as a member of the majority, we require everybody because from time to time, we require them to help with moving the business of the House. I want us. Let me just conclude on the issue of the 6 who are removed by Jubilee Party, the 6 nominated senators. Yes. Again, it's a function of the party, and that there I agree with you. It's a function of the Jubilee Party, not the coalition. And but every party has its constitution that tells you how to remove anybody. And today I saw, of course, that ex-party orders were given, which of course is now in the basis in the courts. And so let Jubilee Party deal with that. And I think the Jubilee Party will deal with that to sort out what happened in the courts.
Before we talk, I just want
before we talk about the issue of the state of the Jubilee Party, Murkomen, 30 seconds only to respond.
Well, I just want to respond to Senator Poghisio that the bad manners that was in Kano, a party that prior to the 2002 elections had over 100 members of parliament. And as a result of chasing people out, by 2002 elections, they had only 50 members of parliament or less. And by 2007, they had less than that. And by 2017, they only have 10 members of parliament out of 47. That culture has permeated Jubilee. And you can see the management of the party, how it is going on, and you can see more people are out. By the way, as a matter of fact, Ben, out of the 39 members who are in the majority side, the majority leadership, led by Senator Poghisio, only enjoys the support of 18. And that should tell you something it's totally wrong in the manner in which the majority side is led.
All right. As we get into that, how do fewer people manage to control the majority if your side has the numbers indeed?
They have no control. That's why I told you, first of all, it became apparently clear. It became even clearer when we had the division of revenue bill and you saw how members were voting. But leave even that aside. In the removal of both leadership last year and this year, they never got the threshold that is required. The only reason why the smaller group is surviving on the support of ODM. If ODM and the minority side pulled away their support, there would be nothing they would be surviving on. So my take is this, and I don't want to engage Senator Poghisio on this one because he's not even a member of this. He's a member of a party that completely has nobody. The conversation I should be having is with members of Jubilee, that we worked so hard to build a party from 2016 when we amalgamated all the other parties to form Jubilee. We are the largest political party in paper. But as a result of bad management of the party, the Secretary General, the Vice Chair of the party, all these other characters who have been giving lectures, that the party only meets to remove people, whether it's MCAs in Nairobi, whether it's members of the Senate, whether it's removing people in committees.
Right.
That is why our party has disintegrated to the levels that it is at the moment, that the activity of the members of the party, the loyalty, the commitment, the passion is not there.
Okay.
And Kanu is the worst example. Senator, for anyone to tell us that we should follow the example of Kanu.
Senator Poghisio, yes. You're the majority leader in the Kenyan Senate. Every time we have this kind of cracking the whip, it seems like the majority side is losing numbers. Are you worried as you prepare for government business in this 5th session?
Well, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. First of all, to say that majority side is losing members, losing to where? You see, there are only two sides in Parliament.
You've chased away six senators?
Let me explain. There are only two sides in the House. You're either minority or majority, okay?
Yes.
But if you're disappearing into the same majority, you haven't gone anywhere. You're still there. And the problem with that understanding is that you can't say, even if you are the opposition from within, you can't say you've moved to which side. You haven't crossed the floor. So we are able to manage that. We will be able to manage that because, let me just make this clear. Members of Parliament, senators in this case, follow their interests in the government business. There's nobody who just opposes government business for the sake of it. They follow their interests. Take, for example, if the government wanted to do anything on tea,
yes,
they follow they follow those interests. So there's no way where every time now Murkomen will be opposing just because the government thing. No, he has interests as well. And also when he brings a motion, he will require our support. That's how we work. And that's why it's totally wrong to say that we have lost control. Because, so far we've done all that we needed to do and it has happened. Because we know that members of the Senate follow interests. When we had a tea bill, you would realize that at that time we forgot where we were. And so this is what I'm saying, that it's not difficult to manage the affairs of the Senate because of the interests that members of the Senate do follow. I just have one thing that I need to pick on there, and this is probably for the last time I'm going to say to Murkomen. You have something against KANU, just face KANU head on.
We already face
KANU head on. Because if you say that KANU, bad manners from KANU, are the ones which have brought Jubilee into what it is now, then you are agreeing that most of you were members of KANU. You've come from KANU. You brought your bad manners there yourselves. And it's not because of the current members of KANU. It's because all of you came from KANU. And so if that's where you caught it, then you are the ones who are still ruining your own party.
Are you However, is Senator Poghisio casting aspersions on President Uhuru Kenyatta as former KANU chair?
I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you as
because he's the one who's managing our party. He's the one who's managing the party.
Because Murkomen, you said you have been...
I have never been a member of KANU myself.
I want us to focus on this.
That's why you should not talk about something you've never been
Senator
a member of.
Murkomen, you've given us a background of where you think the state of what you think the state of Jubilee Party is.
Yeah.
But are you a member of the Jubilee Party?
Definitely. I am a paid-up member of Jubilee Party, a founding paid-up member of Jubilee Party. And in the Senate, I'm a member of Jubilee Party. That's why I went to the Jubilee PG today. And unfortunately, the meeting did not progress the way we expected to go. There was no proper deliberations and discussion and so forth. Unfortunately, our party doesn't hold PG meetings anymore, except for removing
But yesterday
people.
Yesterday you stopped contributions, monthly contributions to the Jubilee Party.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? You are only paying, is it 50 shillings or 500 shillings to the Jubilee Party? Isn't this a clever way of having one foot in and one foot out into what we are calling UDA?
Ken, the day I want to, I want to leave Jubilee Party.
Yes.
The day I decide I want to leave Jubilee, I'll walk directly. I have not made that decision at the moment. But in terms of preparation for alternatives going forward, I am already in discussion with so many different political formations that are coming to see whether with the way Tuju is holding the party and a few people are holding the party, we are in discussions with different political formations to see what our options will be going forward.
That is not what the Soy MP yesterday said on KTN.
I am not Soy MP.
Is the leader of that group?
I am not the Soy MP.
Senator Poghisio, what is your take on what's happening with the two factions?
I just wanted to say that what the Soy MP said summarizes what Murkomen would have said today. It is true that clearly to anybody who's watching in Kenya who understands politics is that they have moved, as the Soy MP said. And so actually delving into matters of the Jubilee Party is now almost untenable for them. Totally untenable. So that they should be clear that they are not really speaking for Jubilee Party as we know it, with the symbol that we know. Today they are dealing with a symbol of another party. And so that is a very good sign of dishonesty. And I think people should just decide. It's actually a matter of saying, I'm here or there, not trying to straddle both parties as it is. So
you know, Senator Poghisio was the party leader. Was he the chairman of WIPA when we formed within URP? I was with Senator Poghisio when URP was formed, and
I quit.
We went around to campaign. You stayed late. You stayed late, Sam.
I quit.
You know, you must be an honest man.
No, but I quit.
You stayed late.
Anyway.
So, and you know,
how did he hijack this?
Sam Poghisio has jumped from Kano. He's moved to many other WIPA. He came to URP and then moved to Kano, and I'm sure he will go into wheelbarrow next time. So
right.
the point I'm trying to make is that when the time comes, and Poghisio knows.
Tell me this, and
when the time comes.
Tell me this, as you tell me when the time comes.
Yes.
You say that you're not the sole member of parliament, but what is your take on him saying that you people have already moved out of the Jubilee Party?
No, we have not.
He didn't say himself, he said everyone in that camp.
Ben, we have not moved out of Jubilee. We've been chased out of Jubilee. We've been chased out of Jubilee. You have already correctly said that we've been removed from these committees, from these positions, from what? The party doesn't hold meetings. They even announced, the Secretary General said nobody should come for any meeting at the party headquarters, and you know, all those kind of things. So the situation is being made so untenable for us to remain in Jubilee. It is even amazing that we have this level of patience because we are founding members. Tuju is not a founding member of Jubilee. He was hired to manage Jubilee. Some of us who are founding members of Jubilee have said that when the time comes for us to move, we will not just move. We will carry the nails that we brought, or the mabati that we brought, or the mbao that we brought. If you brought a door, you carry, or if you brought a tile, you go with it. So there must be a time that we will all of us sit down, those of us who are being told go away, and those who want to inherit what's remaining, that we will decide about division of properties and say, okay, you know, there is a divorce, so you take the door, somebody else takes the mabati and something else. So we are not just going to walk out of a party that we build without properly finding ways of living. But in terms of alternative homes, we are, as I told you, we are already in discussion, at high-level discussions, with various political formations, including the wheelbarrow movement, including the hustler movement, in preparation for a safe landing, just in case Jubilee throws us from 9th floor by force.
There are those who say, Senator Murkomen, that you should be honest to Kenyans and resign from your positions and seek fresh mandates if you are to walk away.
Because who owns Jubilee? How can I resign from myself? As I said, the day we are Jubilee, Tuju is not Jubilee. In fact, I've seen some people saying, oh, you know, the party position, including Poghisio. This is not Kano, Senator Poghisio. The Jubilee constitution is very clear. Party position is not the party leader's position. Party position is a position arrived at the party PG or a party meeting where there is deliberations. Dissenting views be heard, be recorded, and then members will find a resolution going forward. That is the constitution of Jubilee Party. That is the Jubilee we founded and formed. So when you tell me that, oh, you now resign from Jubilee and go, I told you we are Jubilee. It's just that a few people are making it impossible for us to survive in the house because they have a lot of bad manners inside that building. So when the situation becomes completely untenable for us to continue, then at that point in time, each one of us will carry what they brought to Jubilee.
Senator Poghisio, as the majority leader in the Senate, what is your experience leading the majority side, which includes Jubilee, in its current state as it is?
Well, like I said just a few minutes ago, we have a situation in the House where a group, again, where Senator Murkomen sits, have decided they are not really going to be loyal to the party, to the Jubilee Party, as it is. But like I said, running the coalition is a matter of give and take. And when we have a proper formation of the leadership, like now the change of whips, okay, we had Kang'ata, now we have Wamatangi. we hope that together with the membership of that, we can actually work, even if there are splits within the side. The only thing which I would like to add is that with Murkomen insisting that they are out and yet they are in, it doesn't really help in the honesty game here. And I think you're right. I mean, they should be pushed to agree that he's no longer serving the interests of his political party. They have a problem with the political party, and they want to go out. The only problem is I don't understand how he has a problem with KANU. He keeps mentioning KANU everywhere. And KANU
is an issue.
KANU is
just for historical purposes.
Well, let's agree that it means KANU is a thorn in some people's flesh. And I think that because KANU is growing in popularity right now,
all right,
and maybe because of that it is beginning to hurt people. However, as a leader of the coalition, the majority side of the coalition, I will depend on every member from time to time, and I will reach out, like I've said before, reach out to members on need basis when we need to move government business, which does not necessarily, by the way, have to be an issue of division, because everybody knows that where government is going is good for all their people. When there are issues of his political party, Jubilee political party, which is not part of the coalition, they have their own way of dealing with that. And I think it's probably very good that being a member of KANU myself and a member of the coalition, it is much better probably that I am there now, because in a divided Jubilee, there might have been difficulty in running the place. So I'm glad that, that I'm there now.
Let's talk about the BBI. It is an important juncture we're coming to as a nation, the potential constitutional referendum. Let me begin with you, Senator Poghisio. The Jubilee party has removed Irungu Kang'ata as the majority whip. Partly, many people believe it's because of that letter to the president, but the party has said that it is because of a series of infractions, including breach of confidentiality, kissing and telling. The SG did say that. What if he was right about this BBI thing in central Kenya?
I know that Senator Kang'ata is a lawyer, he's a trained lawyer, very highly educated lawyer. And I think sometimes the group that Murkomen leads may have misled him into believing that he needs to move or cross the floor, or move to where they are. And because we saw even today that they are the ones who are surrounding him and escorting him into making statements, which means he could have been misled by that group into thinking that he can actually now become like Murkomen, like Murkomen. And unfortunately, that was picking him up from a frying pan and pushing him right into the fire. And I hope that the situation where Kang'ata is will be understanding that being obedient to a political party does not necessarily mean doing whatever the party says. But if you are in leadership, you are the whip of that party. You are the custodian of a lot of private, confidential information of the party. You are the one who knows who to be removed from the committees. You're the one who knows who's going to be in the committees. You're the one who knows what strategy we are going to use. And then you find out that you can't keep that to yourself or keep that within the circle. Then you realize actually that the leadership is untenable. Okay. And it doesn't mean he's not bright, it doesn't mean he can't lead, but on that ground alone. All right. And then plus the fact that you start speaking against your own party, then you have a reason for the party. The party, by the way, has a very low threshold on what I think is called, obedience to the party or following the party position. And so I would like for him to realize, as the Secretary General said to him.
Personally, do you believe there's any credence in the claim or opinion that the BBI is unpopular in central Kenya?
Well, he could have all that. I have no reason to doubt him. The people of Mount Kenya say that is not true, okay? What he's claiming is a position taken by the people represented by Murkomen and others. So you find that then Kang'ata seems to have bought that and then highlighted that and wants to bring it to the Jubilee. And that's his own undoing. And if you think quickly that you have some very quick brilliance. You have a sudden surge of excess brilliance. Okay. You want to bring it to the president, then you need to know exactly how to do that. So I'm just saying that being a colleague of mine, and I'm not happy, of course, that is removed at all, but I know that that is what it means. One day, it will come to Samuel Poghisio someday, and then I'll have to go. The only thing I said, if I have to go because my position is untenable, I don't have to fight it. I just go. Because if it is that party which put me there, that coalition of parties which put me there, now if they say my position is untenable, why would I be fighting it?
All right. Senator Murkomen, what is your take on the state of the BBI as you resume Parliament, as we see what's happening in the county assemblies and the courts have stopped the IBC from holding a referendum? What's your take on the whole process?
First, let me say that Senator Kang'ata is a politician and would like to be re-elected either to the same position he is or to any other position I hear. There is no politician who can make a move if he's not convinced by his own research and analysis that move is going to lead him to the site where the flock is. Senator Kang'ata is also not new to me. When I joined first year in law school, Senator Kang'ata was vice chair of SONU, and he never feared to speak his mind before Professor Gishaga. Senator Kang'ata was expelled and was later returned after all these processes that included President Mwai Kibaki taking over office.
Right.
So it's not the first time that he has gone through this process of speaking the truth. Senator Kang'ata rose up from a councillor. We went to campaign with him as students, as a councillor, and later MP of Kiaru, now a senator, and I think his future is very bright. I have disagreed with him before because he has a facade. He has a face that sometimes looks like it's a clone. But Senator Kang'ata knows what he's doing. Behind that facade, that laughter, that reggae behavior, is a person who is in touch with the common mwananchi and real representation of a hustler. So that decision resonates with the ground in Mount Kenya region because, unlike Senator Poghisio, I frequent these places because as a Jubilee, that's where we were elected. For us who are the majority of the Jubilee side in the Senate, we don't believe that BBI is a priority at the moment because the contents of the BBI document, especially the constitutional, the issues that are required for a constitutional amendment, are not necessarily beneficial to the people of Kenya. Those which are not beneficial to the people of Kenya are being pushed through referendum, including, undermining the authority of the judiciary, increasing the size of parliament, things that are related to undermining the authority of the police service and so forth. The ones that are beautiful, like increasing the resources to 35%, and these are the things of Ward Development Fund and so forth, can be done without constitutional referendum. That is why for us, it's a non-issue. In fact, our assessment of what the people of Kenya are saying is that changing the constitution at the moment is not a priority. The priority of the people of Kenya is to find employment for young people, to improve businesses that have been really battered, both by the Jubilee policies of second term and also the pandemic, to deal with farming and agriculture, which has really been affected by the structure of management of agriculture with the AFA and the devolution relationship between national and county government on management of agriculture. Those are the things that we, the Hustler movement, believe that this is the conversation we must have at the moment. We have no problem with our friends forcing a referendum or forcing constitutional amendments. If they force it on the people of Kenya, we have insisted that the real choice is to ensure that we have a multiple choice processes that will ensure that the people of Kenya will really make the right choices in separating between those provisions of the amendment that are positive and those ones that are negative.
Hold that thought. I'll come back to that. Which, Senator Poghisio, what is your plan in Parliament in terms of the BBI agenda? We know that there are two referendum laws that need to be harmonized, that are at loggerheads with each other. What is the plan of the reggae movement as you continue to push for a constitutional referendum?
Well, let me just say that the so-called reggae movement, which is the pro-BBI, is really moving with goodwill and very good intentions to make lives of Kenyans better, exactly just in line with what Murkomen is saying. The BBI is the best way to move to that situation of making the lives of the ordinary Kenyan better. Come think about it. I mean, the proposals in the BBI, for example, as he's mentioned already, that including putting more money in the counties, it's something that we fought to try and even just increase in the formula. And now the Constitution comes and says, no need to fight, let's put it at 35% minimum. And that should alone should actually move everybody to support BBI, just that alone. Because we have been talking about devolution. How do you better devolution? Look at what is proposed with that, and that includes the money going to the wards directly, which means development will be spread within the wards. Who would oppose that? Why would you want to say that that's a bad thing? And then why would people focus, let me just say this, focus on only the structure at the top, saying that that's what we are about? That's not what BBI is about. BBI is not about that. BBI is about looking for proper representation in the House, increase representation, increase the resources, and make power go to the ward and make the resources go straight to the ward, which is actually something that has never happened. The development of this country will then be seen from the ground up, which is exactly what, I don't understand how you say you are a hustler nation and you don't see that. That's the way for the ordinary person in Kenya to begin to feel the impact of the resources going down to that level.
All right.
And so I do agree that BBI should be passed, and I want to encourage as many county assemblies to fast track this matter, pass this as fast as possible. It will come to the Senate and it will come to the National Assembly, and that's where the harmony of the bills will be done.
Before I go to Senator Murkomen, tell me what your take is on the president's agreeing to grant members of county assemblies car grants when he was doing that visit to Sagana State Lodge. And tonight, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission has confirmed that their car loans will be converted into benefits that are car grants. So indeed, that has gone through. What is your quick reaction to that?
Well, I agree with that. I've just watched that, and I know that it's good for the MCAs. You know, by the way, we have two levels of government. And if one government offers car grants to its members, the national level, the Senate and the National Assembly, the other county assembly, which is the other parliament at the other government, should also be able to reciprocate and offer the same perks. So I don't think anybody will complain about that, because they do the donkey work. Ask the reason why I get a car grant, for example, and a car loan. Why not the people in the... So the president was simply using what is available, the structure which is available. I don't think he created it and then it went straight away to the SRC. It's not because of that. It is because it's already part of something in the pipeline which resonates with what happens at the national level. So I want to say the MCS,
all right.
For you, you have an opportunity to pass this BBI bill, and you know, it's good for you, not only for the car grant, but it's also good for your people on the ground.
Senator Murkomen, what's your take on the car grant issue?
First of all, I don't believe that leaders at the level of MCA should be bribed to make decisions. I believe that the question of car grant should be separated from the decision they are going to make. On the part of the car grant, I played a major role in negotiating the car grant for the members of County Assembly. We went for a meeting with the President in 2014 in Mombasa. We did again in 2016. In 2017, the President also promised them that they will get a car grant. I was in the forefront in fighting for county assemblies to be given these benefits, both as a devolution chair, right, but also when I came into office. So this should be separated from BBI, even though eventually it has come as a result of a pressure to make sure that they make certain decisions. I have no doubt in my mind that the car grant, because it's a right to the county assembly members or a welfare that supports the functioning of the county assemblies, I have no doubt in my mind that there will be as many county assemblies who will make the decision on the constitutional amendment bill separate from the benefits of the car grant. And I have no doubt that those counties that feel that this bill is not good for the people of Kenya will continue making that decision, because the car grant issue, even in the Senate, those of us who are opposed to the BBI bill as it is, we already received that car grant. We received those benefits.
Yes.
So county assembly members should not feel like they are beholden to the SRC or to Treasury or to President or to BBI because of the car grant. They must make their decision on constitution, which is for posterity, separate from the allocations of the car grant, which is a right to them and they deserve.
Having said that, in less than 1 minute only, the issue, your proposal of a multiple choice referendum seems to have been a non-starter, dead on arrival. Do you have a fallback plan to try and counter what the BBI proponents are doing, or you don't need to do that?
As I've told you, Ben, this BBI is being pushed by force, thorax. There's a lot of pressure. People are being intimidated. There are a lot of things that are being done. And if the process is going to be pushed, even if it went to referendum, and even if that referendum succeeded, it will only be what they call a Pyrrhic or Pyrrhic victory. Victory that is achieved through shedding of so much blood, losing of so many soldiers, that eventually the person who has won, the winning actually, on a balance of probability, the opportunity cost of that win is negative. So we do not want to expend a lot of energy in this BBI because, as I told you, it's a non-issue. The 35% can be achieved today if we were honestly allowing the Senate to perform its function in devolving funds. If you force by constitution even 50% and you don't grow the funds itself, the money is not there, you're going to live in a dishonest life. We had promised as Jubilee 35% without a constitutional amendment. The president himself who said we can achieve this without a constitutional amendment. The Ward Development Fund, Elgeyo Marakwet County already has a higher percentage of Ward Development Fund than the one that is proposed by the referendum law. So the good things, as I want to insist, the good things in BBI can be achieved without amending the constitution. The bad things, like undermining the authority of the judiciary, populating parliament, and undermining gender balance, moving women from National Assembly and then getting more nominated and so forth.
Right.
All these bad things that are in BBI can only be achieved through constitutional referendum. But the good things can be achieved without constitutional referendum.
All right. As a final remark, Senator Poghisio, I want to ask you something that has been talked about in public forums. And some of your handshake colleagues have been saying that they will be moving a motion to impeach the Deputy President, William Ruto. In your knowledge, from what you know, is this a funeral declaration, or is there a plan to impeach the second in command?
Well, it's been made very clear by the Secretary General of the Jubilee Party that there is no such a plan. What you heard was a member of the National Assembly mention. I think some members of the National Assembly mentioned it. And there has been no escalation of that from the time of it was said. And if there comes a time, by the way, that anybody wants to impeach the president or the deputy president, it cannot be something you do underhandedly. It comes out in the open. There's a motion, there is a determination to do it. You'll have to actually pronounce it yourselves and go ahead to do it. So this too much rumors about anybody wanting to do that does not arise. And at the time, when the time comes for it to be done, if it has to be done, it is not something that you can hide or be discussing only within one party. It is something that will require a bigger number of people and so on. So let's leave that subject to lie. The thing about it, about BBI, that I see Murkomen focusing on is the negatives. And he's very clear that there are so many positives. He only identifies one or two things that he sees as negatives and wants to push those to the people. Why would anybody, even if you don't want to put any energy in it, why would you work so hard to try and stop the passage of it? Why would you work so hard? If it is a non-issue, Why would you put so much effort as your side of whatever the coalition is, Mr. Murkomen? So I do think that if we allow our MCAs who see the need, who see the benefit of BBI to go ahead and pass, instead of trying to stop and insinuate that it's not necessary. Allow them to move ahead. They see the benefit of it.
All right.
So Elgeyo Marakwet, let them pass it. The ones in Nandi, was in Gishu and all those, let them pass it because it is important for them. Let's not stop them from getting the benefit of feeling the impact of government revenue coming down to their wards.
Thank you, sir. Senator Murkomen, your final remark very quickly and respond. Talk to us about the issue of impeaching the DP. Is it something you've thought about or planned for?
Impeaching the Deputy President is an issue to us at the moment, and it is an issue that is being mooted by a few people who feel that the Deputy President has gone so far politically that the only way is to look for impeachment or other things to hold him back because their focus is the 2022 elections. Ours is to focus on the people of Kenya, to focus on the issues that are affecting hustlers, to focus the things that are affecting common mwananchi. And I want to really say, Ben, that the people of Kenya are now wiser, they're more clever, they understand where the country should go. They are cleverer, if that's a word like that, than us, the politicians, because in most of the cases, sometimes when we go for these meetings, in public meetings, it is them who set the agenda because they know that this is where Kenya should go. I want to tell the people of Kenya that some of us who are caucusing around the hustler movement have made our business that we don't want to return Kenya back to the old days of politics of tribalism, regionalism. We want to continue changing the conversation to discuss issues of common mwananchi and to ensure that our country is moving from the conversation that is focusing on tribalism to a conversation that is focusing on nationalism and where your manifesto, your policies are going to determine the person who's going to be elected. And between now and next year, you will see more and more of that from the hustler movement.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming to us here on Newsline to help us put perspective in some of these very important issues for Kenyans. Senator for West Pokot County and leader of majority in the Kenyan Senate, Samuel Poghisio, and the senator of the county of Elgeyo Marakwet, Kipchumba Murkomen. Many thanks, sir. Also, we leave it on Newsline this Tuesday night, but before we go, let's bring you a sneak peek of what to expect in tomorrow's edition of your most qualified newspaper in town, The Standard. More politics analysis there, sting of Jubilee's second wave of purges. You can read that in more details there. And also on the headline, how exams will radically change, a report by the Kenya National Examination Council. How KCPE was saved, a story there of last-ditch efforts by the CS Education Professor George Magoha to retain the national examination, the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education, and of course a new system where learners will accumulate marks scored at school levels. You can check out that story in much more details in page 8 of The Standard. Be sure to grab your copy tomorrow. Many thanks for watching Newsline this Tuesday night, the 9th day of February 2021. I'm Ben KITILI. Our Sun language interpreter tonight was Meresha Owiti. We do appreciate the privilege of your time tonight. I'm Ben KITILI. Good night from Nairobi.